Friday morning, along with in studio with me, Jonathan Dent. And we want to say good morning to all of you. This is an open phone hour. Whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111 is the number to call. And I pulled out some things offline that fascinate me. I've always been a space observer.
Okay.
Space shots and all that.
I space out from time to time, but that's about as close as I get.
And Elon Musk had recently speculated they were not going to save a section of SpaceX giant Starship rocket. It had landed in the Indian Ocean and appeared to have been lost. Well, they've tracked it down. They actually recovered it in one piece. And now they have it to be able to take back to their headquarters and examine it and look at it. And this was one of the biggest rockets ever launched.
I wonder what they hope to learn from that they can't already get from just their sensors and stuff that they have.
I don't know. I wondered that too, but, who knows? Maybe they're going to look at the motors. They're going to look at everything, I guess. Maybe there's things to learn.
Could be.
Could be. I'll tell you what, though. Watching their flights and watching the way these things come back to Earth, land on a small platform in the middle of the ocean, or get clutched like chopsticks when they get near the tower, is just unbelievable.
It's fascinating how they're able
It's
to
a
do
different
that.
world. I mean, it's, from the early days of Apollo and all of that, it's absolutely Mercury even before that.
And at a certain point in the future, it's going to be, remember when they were still celebrating that they could land their rockets back
and everything
and
will
pick
be,
them back up? Yeah.
Oh, well, let's face it. We thought it was special just simply because the space shuttle could come back.
Yeah.
And that was more like an airplane, But to see these rockets do it and the way they do it, and the communication technology available with cameras and everything else, it's unbelievable. It's unreal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different world. Different world we live in today, which is good. I mean, if you're into technology, it's right there.
There's always something new to be looking into if you're into technology.
Yeah, and, a lot of it ends up on our telephones.
Yep.
Where there's more power in the phone, as we've said before. There's more computing power in your phone than there was in all the computers in a room that it took to land on the moon.
Yeah.
All in your little phone.
Yep. And a lot of that information and know-how from that first wave of NASA development was lost. There are things that, I don't know about modern day, but in the last decade, engineers and people looking at going to space have looked at and gone, how did they do this before? We don't know. We don't know the process that they used to get there.
Yeah. Well, a lot of it was analog.
Analog and just
computers even.
The thought processes they had in place aren't the same as what we have now. It's crazy.
Their thought processes were what they were for the day that they were looking at them. That's like the automobile. I mean, what was the automobile like in 1950 compared to what it is today?
Yeah.
You wouldn't recognize it. How many computers were there in cars in the 50s and 60s? Zero.
And you wouldn't be able to, if you didn't know how an automobile worked back then, but you knew how one worked now, it's like trying to engineer a Model T from scratch with just modern day knowledge.
However,
it's weird.
The thing about it, though, back then, was the average person could go under the hood of their car and do certain mechanical things.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't have to be overly talented to do it. I mean, it was pretty simple. If you wanted to adjust your valves, for example, your valve tappets on your car, you took off the head cover and there you were, You took a wrench, you cranked down on them until they were quiet, and you put the cover back on again, and you were done.
Yeah.
I did it all the time.
You can't do that now. Everything's
can't do that, and you can't even get to the engine.
Everything's
now.
buried under something else. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing. Absolutely amazing. However, at the same time, look at the engines today and what they produce and their efficiency
Yeah.
compared to the engines back then. I mean, back then, yeah, you could get a couple of hundred horsepower, but you were using 9 or 10 miles a gallon in gas.
Mm-hmm.
Today, you get hundreds of horsepower and you're using 20, 30 miles,
And as you're adding that technology, they're also working in the same amount of space, which is why everything's buried under something else.
Yep.
Yep.
That's true. And have to have room for all those computers.
Uh-huh.
The average car, what did I see the other day? 17 computers or something like that.
Wow.
I remember a number of years ago, I had a vehicle, and the right side turn signal didn't work all of a sudden. Took it to the dealer. Oh, okay. Well, we'll take out your driver's seat and fix it. Huh?
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean you'll take out my driver's seat and fix? Oh, yeah, the computer for that's under your driver's seat.
Yep.
Oh, okay. It's just, and then I did a remote a number of years ago at McDonald Ford, as a matter of fact, and I had a Ford regional representative on talking about pickup trucks. And at the time, there was something like 1,500 chips in the truck.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rolling computer.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's good news, bad news. Yes, it's more efficient. The engines run better. They are far more reliable. But when you have that many computers, something eventually is
More
going to go
failure
wrong.
points.
Or failure points.
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely. However, there's some things don't change. Yesterday, I had a nail taken out of one of my tires.
Yep.
So, it's nothing changes.
For all the upgrades.
For all the upgrades. Now, however, it was a very slow leak. I could have driven on it for weeks and weeks. I noticed my tire pressure was going down, and I finally got a note that I had a slow leak. When I took it in, and they pulled out a little tiny screw from the tread,
And you had a note.
Well, I had a car tell me that.
Yeah, the car told you that there was a leak.
Not only did the car tell me, but my phone told me.
Oh, really?
Because I have an app for my car on my phone. And it gave me a notification that I had a slow leak in my left rear tire.
That's
Well,
crazy.
okay.
I just got a new to me car. It's 2014, but it's giving me the error message. The tire monitoring system isn't working properly. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I never had one of those before.
Sometimes there is a reset procedure, and I don't know what it is. But dealer might be able to tell you.
Oh,
They
yeah,
might be
maybe.
just reset them rather than have to put new inserts in or anything,
I just deal with it.
Yeah. I mean, that's
It's
it.
not like this is a computer that isn't controlling anything that I desperately need.
Oh, see, I'm just the opposite. My car's a 2020, but it's loaded.
Yeah.
It's got every bell and whistle they make.
I bet.
'Cause I love bells and whistles. But they all, if they fail, cost you money, you know.
Yep.
All right, we'll take a break. Lines open, whatever you want to chat about, 989-752-6111.
Experience isn't just a number.
And we're back in studio. Art Lewis along with Jonathan Dent. Open phones, whatever you'd like to chat about, 989-752-6111. We need rain.
Yep.
Indiana would like to send us some.
Yep.
Boy,
Ohio.
They had
yep.
trouble. Wow. Right now, there are around 66, almost 67,000 customers in Indiana still without power after severe storms began on August 11th. It caused deadly floods in the state, killed at least 7 people. And as close as they are to us, we got none of it.
It just hasn't worked its way up to us.
Has not worked its way up to us at all. And they are they're hurting down there.
And
And
hasn't
that's not usually a place where you hear that, you know.
Yeah, hasn't it been a pretty quiet hurricane season?
So far,
Yeah. I wonder if that's related. Probably is somehow.
I don't know. Because I had read earlier on, I read that they were predicting there might be a bad hurricane season.
Really?
So Who knows? We haven't heard too much about tropical storms forming or hitting on shore or anything. Time will tell. Besides, when meteorologists started telling us there was a 50% chance, that was the
Oh, yeah.
that was sort of the end of
Yeah. I had
long-range forecasting, you know.
I had a high school teacher who said at one point, you can't just do, when you get out in the real world, you can't just do 70% of your job and expect that to be okay. You're going to get fired. If I had an employee doing 70% of their job, da-da-da-da-da. And I wish I had thought of it, but it's like, meteorologists get it right. How much?
50-50.
Yep.
Yeah, it is pretty amazing when you think about it. I don't know if you caught this. I pulled this I looked at this and I said, come on. The U.S. Navy says they may name a new aircraft carrier after Donald Trump instead of a World War II sailor who heroically saved lives when Pearl Harbor was bombed. And this sailor named Doris Miller, an enlisted black sailor, was a mess attendant, second class, aboard the battleship USS West Virginia when bombs began falling on December 7th. He had been gathering laundry that morning. He rushed to the smoking deck, took control of an anti-aircraft gun he had no training on, opened fire on Japanese planes, downing at least one of them, and then he helped carry wounded to safety. Famously, there was a movie about him portrayed by Cuba Gooding Jr. The film Pearl Harbor featured his role. Now, during Trump's first term, the Navy announced the Ford-class carrier, which is CVN-81, would be called the USS Doris Miller. There's another interesting thing about this that I found buried in the story. That a White House executive order on shipbuilding referred to the ship as CVN-81, not its name, and they tasked the Secretary of Defense and Secretary of the Navy to report back with a plan to replace the ship's electromagnetic aircraft launch system back to steam and hydraulics.
Really?
And I thought that electromagnetic system was the new wave of the future. It was on the Ford class when it was introduced. Now all of a sudden they're telling them they want to go back to steam launch. I don't understand. But this carrier is, they haven't laid the keel yet. And they'd like to have the name finalized for the keel laying.
Yeah.
So it's right now it's CVN-81 is its official number. So I don't know. I just tired of it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I have to separate the presidency and the job of the president and how he does the things that presidents are supposed to do.
Yeah.
And this self-centered narcissism that he has to have his name on everything.
These little pet projects all over the
And
place.
pet projects all over the place. I'm tired of it. I just am.
Just do the job.
Do the job, yeah, and let your job speak for how you'll be remembered.
Get stuff named after you by other people. Don't do it yourself.
Yeah.
Do such a good job that people name stuff
And-
after you.
And it would also go against precedent because carriers are named not for live presidents but for dead ones.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. Trump. And I understand there's a lot of people who love Donald Trump. He can do no wrong. That's fine. But this stuff, where he's got his name on everything,
His fingers in all the pies.
yeah, it's just, it's to the point of being ridiculous. And I hope they don't vote to change the name of that ship. Sailor that did all the heroic duties deserves to have the ship named after himself.
NBC says ship naming authority lies with the Navy Secretary, but defense secretaries are often involved with it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. And then the other day, what did he say? He wanted to give him. They say this was joking, but it didn't sound like a joke, because even if it's a joke, it's an offense to the people who have earned Congressional Medal of Honor for heroic actions in battle.
it cheapens it.
It cheapens it for him to say, "Oh, I think I'm going to give myself one and one of my sons one." Come on. It just, I just don't understand. And you would think, listen, he's not a dumb person. Let's start with that. And he's always been, a bit of the braggart, self-centered, and all that stuff. But you would think that he would realize, as President of the United States, words that come out of his mouth have impact,
Mm-hmm.
good and bad.
His tweets change the markets.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. So I just, you see headlines like that, and you go, what are they thinking? Yeah.
ticks me off. I hadn't heard of that until you showed it to me.
Yeah, well, I found it this morning,
Yeah.
so I don't know.
And they're just considering it. It's not that they're doing it, but
Well, the fact
It's
that
been
they're
floated.
even considering it is just ludicrous.
yeah,
Why are they wasting their time on that?
exactly.
I just, I shake my head, which is why I have to be honest. I don't pay much attention to what's said anymore.
Well, I've got an idea. They should rename the ship that is full of sailors that were left hanging out there in the Middle East. Rename that
Oh,
after
the Lincoln?
Yeah, give him that legacy. If that's what he wants to do, give him that legacy.
Call it the Trump barge.
Yeah. No one will want to be stationed
Well, at
on it.
least it is heading back now.
Yeah, it's coming
It'll take
back.
a couple of weeks, but it's heading back now. That's another one, but again, who knows what it really is like? I mean, there have been stories
Yeah.
both sides, but I'm sure that a ship out there that long, no matter how well staffed it is, no matter how well it's got all its products and food on board, that's a long time to be at sea without any ports of call.
Yeah.
It's like 9 months or something like that.
Well, yeah, thereabouts. They're small cities, basically.
And not so small. I mean, it's 5,000 people.
Yeah. So they can function for quite a while, but that's a long time to be
But it's a long time to be away from
everything.
your family, away from everything.
Away from ground.
Yeah, away from ground. So, all right, let's take a break, and then we'll be back. Lines open, 989-752-6111. We'll get the calls when we return.
My name is Sophia.
Mark Lewis with you, back with Jonathan Dent, and to our phones. Mark is with us this morning. Mark, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good.
Yeah, I served on board the Eisenhower a few years ago.
Well, thank you for your
A
service.
different president. No problem. There was a different president, and nobody got upset. We broke down a couple times when I was out at sea for 6 months, and there was people that had some bad days, and one guy. The suicide does happen out at sea, but I don't understand the outrage and how come people aren't outraged at subs. Subs go under there for months, if not longer, at a time. Not many windows on a sub, and yet they break down potentially.
Well, I think the answer to that is expectation. It's expected as a submariner that you're going to be underwater and you're going to be there for a long time.
I'm gonna disagree a little bit with you, Art. I think the difference is people on submarines. One, yeah, that's the expectation, but they can't communicate with people outside and whine about it. There's not as much of a
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is the Lincoln, the aircraft carrier, the expectation was a 6-month turn.
Ah.
And they're 3 months over that. And that's a long time to be separated from your loved ones, not see land and all that, or not be on land. And Mark, I understand, that things happen at sea. But did you ever spend 9 months without getting off the ship?
No, but I did spend an extended period of time where we didn't get leave when we pulled into port. We weren't able to get off the ship, and then we pulled back out. And so that was not the best of times. And a lot of times you're washing your skivvies and your stuff right in the sink in the bathroom that you're doing your you're doing all your other stuff at. So, it's not the Holiday Inn lifestyle out there at sea.
Well, I shouldn't expect it to be. Nobody should expect it to be that.
All right. But I didn't come home and complain about it, and I didn't write letters. It is what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
You make the best of it. I mean, if my car breaks down and a tire goes out, I don't call the car company and yell at them for that. It just happens.
Well, a lot of people do. Why not?
Yeah, I hear you. So, I just wanted to throw my
that's all right.
opinion out there.
And again, we appreciate your service.
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
Have a good one.
Take care. Bye-bye now. And we'll talk to Carl in Saginaw. Good morning, Carl.
Good morning, Art, Jonathan. Art, do you remember a couple weeks ago you were talking about economics and the trend of younger people being more open to socialism? Mm-hmm. You were talking about that they're just not teaching, economics in school anymore. Does that sound familiar?
Yeah, it's not so much teaching economics, although that was part of it. It's teaching government and teaching history of the country and everything.
Okay. Well, I remember.
Go ahead.
Well, I remember, I think it was the 7th grade where we had a class that was like economics, and they taught us about communism and capitalism and socialism. And
how many years ago was that?
Difference. Well, that would have been in the late 60s.
Yeah. Okay. Making my point, are you? Times have changed.
But I remember one thing they taught us back then was that the middle class was the heart of the American economy. That's what really separated America from most other countries in the world, at least at that time. That we had a thriving middle class that could buy the products that U.S. companies were making.
Yeah.
They could afford to buy.
Yeah, and then all the trade agreements came along, and the jobs left our shores.
Okay, well, but that's capitalism. That's capitalism.
Yeah, it is.
Looking for the lowest price, lowest labor, lowest materials. And that's what capitalism does.
And
it's
yet,
not patriotic.
I'm going to disagree with you that the middle class is the heartbeat. It's the opportunities that are afforded. There's vertical mobility in the U.S. and in a capitalist structure that doesn't exist outside of it.
Absolutely. It's the incentive.
Yeah.
It's the carrot you hold out in front of the guy to make him go,
And that's classism is being taught. But that kind
a lot of younger people are not buying that. They look at capitalism and say, it's not working for me.
That's because too many people are telling them. That's because too many people are telling them they're going to give them all the free stuff.
And because people are actually getting free stuff, big businesses are getting subsidized by the government, so there's no disincentivization for big corporations.
But you don't have to work for it anymore.
Corporatism.
You don't have to work for it. Just hold your hand out.
Okay, Art, the way I look at these companies, they use our roads, they use our banking system, they use our courts.
And they provide your jobs. Let's not leave that out.
Yeah, but then you tell those companies, well, can you pay some taxes to help pay for all these services? And they say, what? Are you crazy? Have us pay taxes? What are you talking about? Even though they use all that stuff.
All right, here's two things. First of all, a lot of companies pay taxes.
Yep.
And second, companies don't pay taxes. People do. Because all the money they spend on taxes, comes out of our pocket.
Okay,
Because they
well,
don't have
the
any money if
companies
we don't
don't-
give it to them.
Well, if the companies don't pay taxes, that means we're going to be paying the taxes.
One way or another, you're paying the taxes. Don't escape it.
Yeah,
Well-
but at least
yes, the companies do pay tax. They pay it with the money that they got for exchanging goods or services
Right.
to you. The problem comes in when those companies are able to sponsor politicians, basically, and through lobbying and other incentives that definitely aren't bribes, wink, wink, get what policies that are favorable to them. When the government is now giving
Yep.
handouts to big companies, too big to fail, what kind of capitalist concept is that? That
Yeah.
is socialism if you talk about government subsidized corporations.
No system is 100% perfect.
No.
So it has failings.
no.
Gotta
we
run.
are-
Gotta take a
and
break.
We are a hybrid.
Yep.
Okay, thanks,
All right.
guys.
We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye now. And we'll be back with more.
Gotta go.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW. Art Lewis and Jonathan Dent and Mike in Thomas Township. Mike, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Art and Jonathan. I like that background music. It's reminding me of Peter Gunn, way back when.
Yeah.
I hear these people, not just on your program, but other places, complaining about the guys on the Abraham Lincoln, in excess of 250 days out, and think about World War II veterans and those guys. We're not talking months; we're talking years. The guys in the Pacific, the Marines in the Pacific, they were there for years and fighting all the time. They got on a ship for a while, got moved to another island, and fighting more. And they didn't complain; they just went out and did their job, and a lot of them died for us. And in Europe, you got the airborne units. They were, in demand all the time. Patton and his group, they moved from France all the way across to get to Bastogne for the Battle of the Bulge. And these guys, I'm sure there was some complaining, but they got their job done. And I just get tired of these guys whining and everything. They got the best food in the world, the Navy does, for military, except for that, imagine they did start running out. But I don't understand why they couldn't get resupplied, because, it isn't like it's in where they got, other ships shooting at them, stuff. The Abraham Lincoln, I don't think was even attacked once during all this time they were there. So, what?
And I'm going to put it out there. I don't thinking through that and listening to that, I'm making me realize how we're presenting this, that there's a big outcry from the people on board the ship. I would guess there's maybe a few that have put out some sort of message and complained about it, and it's being super amplified
All of a sudden, they
stateside.
represent the 5,000.
They-
Our press,
Yeah. And so I would compare that to kind of those people who were in the Pacific or whatever and said something about wrote home, and now imagine if there were hundreds and hundreds of protests, with protests having to do with Vietnam and things like that. I think that would be a more comparable thing than a bunch of people whining on board a ship.
Yeah.
Which that's kind of how I was presenting it too, which, to be fair, probably not right, but
Well, yeah, but our press and the media, they just, if it's anything that Trump's doing good, it's terrible. They don't mention it. If anything the Democrats do bad, they hide it. So it just, God, I get tired of this. I've never thought I'd live to see this. I'm way back in the 40s and 50s and 60s when we had news commentators, and they were reporting the news. They weren't trying to make it, and they weren't trying to, get, I don't know, these guys, they drive me nuts.
All right. Good
Okay.
enough, Mike. Thanks.
Anyway, thank you guys. At least you guys are coming. I like Jonathan too. He's really
Good.
does a heck of a job with you guys.
Thanks.
I got to meet you sometime. Take
All
care.
right, take
Bye.
care. Bye-bye now. And let's move over and talk to Dan in Bay City. Dan, good morning.
Good morning. One of the gentlemen was talking about school, and you guys are saying, well, about political science and things like that. Well, Michigan has required high school political science or civics classes. It's required in all high schools in Michigan, along with a class now that teaches you about fiscal responsibility, how to do your checking accounts, how to invest, and things like that.
Well, that's been around. Yeah, that's been around. Yeah. My question is, yeah, you may have a requirement to teach civics or government, but what are you teaching in that class?
Well,
that's my question.
Boards are there for. That's what the school boards do. They check. They make sure the things are right, and that's the school board's responsibility.
Yeah, as long as the state doesn't. As long as the state doesn't dictate over them.
Well, you see, you're throwing things in there like, so how do you know that's going on? You don't. So, and it's the same thing on these ships. I mean, did like Jonathan there, did he serve in the military when he was, younger? Or does he know that these things can't happen? And they said, and now this was a report, that the reason that they couldn't get refurbished or any supplies is because all the bases that were over there now have been all blown up. So
do you really believe that?
No, there were other logistical issues involved in that scenario.
I don't buy that.
Yes, I do believe that.
Well, okay, you can believe it. I choose not to. There's enough supply ports over there where they could get supplies onto their supply ships who meet regularly with these ships at sea.
Well, once these guys get back and we do listen to what's going on or what's happened, then we'll know for sure. But
all right, well, we'll see.
I wouldn't trust Trump in the next room. Thanks anyway for your day.
Okay, thanks. Bye-bye now. And, that's, and unfortunately, his last remark overshadows what he said. Because he said he wouldn't trust Trump if he was in the next room.
Yeah.
Well, does that mean that it's simply because it's Trump, it's unbelievable? I just, it works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
It works both ways.
So just looking into that, one of the issues is that the base in Bahrain was damaged.
A base.
Yes. But they had backup supplies from Diego Garcia, which that's logistics. That's having
So you take the
alternatives.
ship and you move it over there.
Yep, there are backup supply lines in place. So
well, and unfortunately, he says, well, we'll wait and see what they have to say when they get back. What'll happen is 4 or 5 people who were disgruntled will be in front of the cameras, and you won't hear from anybody else who tells you it's okay. So who knows? I mean, it's, you reach a point in this day and age where you believe nothing and you suspect everything. It's unfortunate.
Yep.
But it's where it's at. It's where it's at. And then, if you're wearing blindfolds, Republican or Democrat, and you only see it one way, you tend not to believe anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's too bad because we're missing stuff. Jonathan, thank you, sir, as always.
Thank you.
Coming up, we'll have Focus. We're going to learn about DCLP and what they do all ahead.
Beautiful new Florida.